What if you were faced with the hardest decision of your life? Would you trust, even when your heart trembles? This is not just a story. It is a divine sign, a reminder of the highest form of trust. One man, a prophet, alone against the world, willing to sacrifice what he loved most, not out of fanaticism, not out of madness, but out of unwavering faith. Ibrahim, alayhi salam, the father of the prophets, a man who was ready to sacrifice his own son because his Lord had commanded it. But behind this story lies something deeper. It is not about the knife. It is not about the sacrifice. It is about the heart, a heart that loves Allah more than anything else, a heart that trusts even when the mind hesitates. In this video, we will journey through the story of Ibrahim, his test, his trust, and the timeless lessons for our lives. Because the real question is not, would you sacrifice? But rather, who do you trust when everything is on the line? In a time when stone idols were the center of worship, one man rose against the tide, alone but unshaken. A young man who didn't just accept what he was told, but questioned, pondered, doubted, and then believed. Ibrahim, the friend of Allah, not because he was rich, not because he held power, but because his heart belonged entirely to Allah, in complete trust. He was born in Babylon, among a people who prayed to stars and sought help from statues. Even as a child, he felt these things could give nothing. His mind urged him to seek. His heart never gave up. He asked his people, "Why do you worship that which neither hears nor sees?" And when no one could answer, he broke the idols and left the largest with the axe beside it. His courage was revolutionary, but the price was dangerous. They threw him into a fire, a massive, blazing inferno. But Ibrahim did not hesitate. He did not ask, "Why me?" He said, "Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil." Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs. And the fire turned cool and safe. From that moment on, his life became a story of tawakkul. He left his homeland, journeyed through unknown lands, lived in the desert, often not knowing where water or bread would come from. But his heart remained firm, because he knew, whoever has Allah lacks nothing. His life was not one of comfort, but of trust. A trust that was tested again and again. And the greatest test was yet to come. This was the heaviest of all tests. Not hunger, not exile, not fire, but love. The love of a son, born after years of longing. A son who was not just flesh and blood, but a sign of mercy, a symbol of hope, a gift from the Almighty. Ismail, the gentle, obedient son who shared the harsh desert life with his father. A father who had once prayed, "My Lord, grant me a righteous offspring." And Allah answered him. Then came the night. Ibrahim saw in a dream that he must sacrifice his son. Not an ordinary dream, but revelation, a command, unthinkable for the heart. Yet it was the will of the Lord. What would you have done? What would your heart have told you? But Ibrahim did not ask, why? He did not hesitate. He trusted. The next morning, he went to Ismail. He said, "My beloved son, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. What do you think?" And Ismail, he too was made of the fabric of trust. He replied, "Father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, among the steadfast." Two hearts, father and son, ready to submit to the will of Allah, in love, in obedience, in the deepest tawakkul. So Ibrahim laid his son down, not out of coldness, not out of anger, but out of love for Allah. He raised the knife, but Allah did not allow it to cut. The test was passed. Allah sent a ram as a substitute and declared, "You have fulfilled the vision. Indeed, this is how we reward the righteous." This story is not a myth. It is an eternal sign, a sign that tawakkul doesn't mean knowing the outcome, but surrendering to the outcome chosen by the All-Knowing. It is letting go of everything you love, with the firm belief that Allah will give you something better. The story of Ibrahim and Ismail is not just a memory of a past event. It is a mirror for our own hearts, a test of our own trust, because we too face trials every day. Sometimes we lose what we love. Sometimes we are challenged with decisions that may change our entire lives. And sometimes the path ahead seems hidden, only darkness, doubt, and fear. But that is where tawakkul begins. Firstly, Allah is greater than your pain. Ibrahim loved his son, but he knew love for Allah comes above all. If you are willing to let go, Allah will return to you something better. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in this world, but surely in the hereafter. Whatever you sacrifice, Allah replaces it with what you cannot imagine. Maybe not what you want, but exactly what you need. Secondly, obedience without a guarantee. Ibrahim did not know how things would end. He only knew the command, not the ease that would follow. And yet, he walked the path. We too must act, without certainty, without a backup plan. Tawakkul means you keep going, even when your heart trembles. You do what is right, even when you don't see the outcome, because you know Allah sees everything. Thirdly, you are not alone. Ismail was ready to submit. He trusted not only his father, he trusted Allah. How many people in your life carry this trust? The story of father and son shows. When two hearts are united in tawakkul, no path is too hard. And if you think you cannot go on, remember, Ibrahim stood alone in the valley of Mina, but Allah was with him. And just as He was with him, He is with you, today, tomorrow, and always. The story of Ibrahim and Ismail does not end with the knife. It ends with a sign of mercy, a ram from the heavens, a sign that tawakkul does not lead to loss, but to closeness with Allah. Ibrahim let go of everything and gained everything, because whoever loves Allah above all loses nothing. He gains what is eternal. This story is a call to your heart. Trust, obey, and surrender the outcome to the one who knows all. Not your plan decides, but Allah's wisdom. We hold on to things, to people, to fears. But true trust means letting go, not because you're giving up, but because you finally understand who truly cares for you. In a world full of uncertainty, tawakkul is your firm ground, your silent strength, your safe path. Because whoever places their trust in Allah is never abandoned. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a reminder. Subscribe for more true stories filled with light and insight. May Allah grant you a heart that trusts, even when the path is hidden.